George,
We're back.
we're back, but you don't have your holiday sweater on, and neither do I today. Although yours is a bit more festive looking.
I was going to
must
say, it's a
admit.
little festive. You know, it's a kind of a colorful, I guess.
Yeah, and you got a haircut to
I
boot.
did do that.
Yeah,
Thank you, Kevin Teeling, my son-in-law.
and I got to my barber also because my stuff was just radically growing out of control.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Kevin. He did such a good job. Anybody out there in the Clinton, New Jersey area, that's where his salon is, and he just does a great job.
Awesome.
And I'm evidence of it.
Well, you're a handsome man anyway.
He got me ready for the holidays.
And speaking of getting ready for the holidays, how's your holiday spirit going?
Pretty good, and I actually have a tip for people with the holidays. And what it is with the holidays, there's a lot of pressure and stress, buying gifts, meals,
Yes.
your children coming over, getting last minute work done for the year before the end of the year. And with all that, Bob,
Yeah.
guess what happened to me Monday? And I've never had this ever in my life, and I'm 68 years old.
So what happened to a 68-year-old for the first time ever?
Ever. I had an anxiety attack.
Oh no! Over what?
I think just holiday stress.
Holiday
so,
stress,
you know, I'm glad that I'm actually a doctor because I knew it wasn't a heart attack. I didn't have the left arm pain, the chest pain.
Right.
But, you know, my heart was racing. I had heart palpitations. I was
wow.
sweating a little bit. And
Anxiety, huh?
yeah, and I've never had that. I'm over it, by the way.
What were you stressing over?
I don't know. Sometimes, like when it comes to holiday season, and I know a lot of people do this, you overthink things.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the way the holidays fall this year is a little unusual in that Christmas Eve, which we're having all our grandchildren and children and son-in-laws and our son over, and Cindy's making a
family.
ham and turkey dinner, and my two daughters are making the rest of the dishes. But you tend to overthink those things.
Yeah.
And we're doing the same thing for Christmas Eve. We're doing the traditional, or New Year's Eve, I'm sorry, the traditional New Year's Eve pork chops and sauerkraut, and another ham. Thank you, Aaron Waters, great butcher, patient of mine.
Oh, cool.
But for the hams, and he also made me homemade hamburger and you know, bacon, and thank you, Aaron.
You're already getting the smells going in my mind with that.
So anyway, I was just, you know, and I almost never do this. I'm usually kind of a laid-back kind of, you know,
Yes, you are.
Matata kind of guy, and for whatever reason, I just start overthinking things, and I thought myself into anxiety.
Wow.
And I've never done that in my entire life. I've never done that. However, so since I did do that to myself, let's talk about what to do if that happens. First of all, don't panic, which is kind of funny because then you'll give yourself a panic attack.
Right.
But the things to start doing is the very first thing when that happened to me, and being a doctor, I kind of knew what to do, is yoga breathing. So what you want to do, you want to breathe in deep as you can through your nose and out slowly through your mouth, like almost like you're whistling. So you want to do yoga breathing. Another thing that you want to do from a supplement perspective, okay, is, you know, you want to take, like, there's a formula I really like from a company called DC Labs called Formula 303. It's a natural laxant. Another, you know, which I buy from Amazon is ashwagandha.
Right.
And another thing I get from Anabolic Labs is Tri-B Complex.
Right.
And B Complex. So those are some products you can do that you can take that'll kind of are natural laxants, kind of will kind of undo the effects of that.
Right.
And you know, another thing you can do with that, okay, is stretching.
So those are good physical things.
One last physical thing. Another thing you do is get up and start walking.
Yes.
So walk, stretch, breathe properly. Another thing that I did, which I'm a certified meditation instructor, and I can teach meditation is meditate.
Right.
Now, you really don't need to meditate to get over that, but it's a really good idea. The big thing you need to do is yoga breathing. And then the final thing for a longer term solution is to take melatonin on a regular
Right.
basis. And the final thing is to do aerobic training.
Those are all good, but remember, it's our animal, instinctual part of our brain
Absolutely.
that overrides and overtakes us in those anxiety
that's what happened to me.
panic-driven situations. So we get out of our thinking brain, and in order to do that, you really have to stop, challenge, and choose, and taking a slow breath, drinking a little bit of water,
Oh.
doing what you can to calm down your mind for a moment.
He just jogged my mind. Another thing to
Yeah.
do when that happens, and a good way to stop it in its track, besides the yoga breathing and the stretching for immediate effect, is actually to drink cold water.
Absolutely.
Cold water will do that. And and one last thing, I forgot about this too. From one of my good PT friends, who I really like, who's teaching at NASM this year. I'm friends with her on Facebook. But anyway, is to activate your parasympathetic or your vagus nerve,
Right.
and that will relax your body and kind of slow things down and stop those heart palpitations and
Getting together with loved ones this time of the year can bring on those emotional triggers. And particularly if you have somebody that's always the one that's going to trigger you, just know going into this that, hey, I might be in a situation where I'm going to be triggered. So be prepared and stop,
I did this to
challenge,
myself, though.
and choose. Well, you're unique in that situation. Most of us are going to have these stresses brought to us because we're getting together with loved ones that we don't always normally see eye to eye with, and things are going to happen. And stop, challenge, and choose. Breathing exercises, a little bit of water can really help you get yourself and your mindset right and get through the situation.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that these things happen, but I know they happen to a lot more people than you and I, and these are some simple solutions from the two of us to kind of deal with it.
But anyway, minimize your sugar intake if you can. Remember, the most satisfaction's in that first 3 bites of anything you stick in your mouth. Hydrate appropriately, be mindful of your thoughts, take George's advice to heart, and you're going to have a great rest of the holiday season.
My PT friend that I was talking about, Adriana Mismer, she's a friend of mine on Facebook, you can look her up, and she's going to be doing a video podcast on vagus nerve, which was a great thing to do to calm yourself down, to reverse that situation. So if you had anxiety, panic attacks, we gave you a lot of good advice to deal with those situations, and don't let the holidays overcome you. Just enjoy them.
Yeah,
It's about family and friends, and
This is the time of year for gratitude, and George, I
Absolutely.
am grateful for you, my friend.
so this has been great. We'll be back. I hope everybody, got some benefit from this, and we gave you some good information that will help you deal with the holidays. Everyone,
Until next year,
have a great time. Have a great day.
happy holidays.
To y'all.